Didn't think I was making this video. I didn't think I ever would, honestly, but it really seems like Neymar wants to join Barcelona again, and I kind of think it makes a lot of sense, and I'm very excited about it. There's a lot of weird things to talk about with this whole transfer and the idea of it, but I really want to get into it because I think it would be so sick. So, just to be a little bit clearer for all of you guys that, again, aren't chronically online, it seems like Neymar is seriously considering joining Barcelona. We see these reports every once in a while, but I genuinely think it's very serious right now. His contract with Santos ends in 6 months. He's getting back to form, and he's still not that old. Yes, he is very injury prone, but he's also far from done with football. When he is healthy, he is still very talented and good. He's 33 years old. He just turned 33, so he's got a little bit of football left in his legs if he can get those legs moving again. Now, this idea is really splitting the culés on Twitter or online right now because a lot of people don't really want him back. They think of it as something that could kind of screw with the momentum we have or not really fit into the squad in a way that is cohesive or complements the players in the right way. And I think that's fair, but also I just think their benefits are way too much to ignore. Now, I think it is an okay point to say that he might not fit into the squad and to kind of criticize it as just not working with our plan, but I think that's ignoring the benefits of what Neymar can bring, and I'm going to get into all of them, but I think the biggest problem would be his salary. According to reports, he has already accepted a significant salary reduction going to Santos compared to what he was earning previously, I would assume, in Saudi Arabia. Now, this is showing me that he has a fixed salary of over $500,000 US, and additionally, he will receive 80% of the commercial deals the club secures during his stay. That can end up being a substantial amount of money, right? And it's going to be hard to get a clear number for that, but if he's willing to take a $500,000 for that 6-month contract and potential add-ons, I see it as reasonable for Barcelona to be able to sell him, especially because we've seen issues with Barcelona before where they can't sign someone and immediately drop their wages incredibly, like Messi, where he couldn't drop his wages less than 50% of what he was earning before. That's just a rule in La Liga or something like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if that had been the same case for Neymar returning to or coming to Barcelona from Saudi Arabia, where La Liga would put in some rules where he would have to earn no less than 50% of his old contract. I'm not exactly sure what that was from, honestly. I barely remember it, but I know it was a thing. And now that Neymar is earning so much less, that could open the door a little bit to a financially viable situation for Barcelona. And honestly, even if we were to pay him, say, Ansu's contract, which is around 10 million euros gross, 5 million net, I think he makes that money back very quickly. Like, Neymar is still one of the most popular Barcelona jersey names that I see today. Like, are they all fake? Maybe. Who knows? But he is all over our minds. He is thought about so much. He is one of the most iconic players, if not the most iconic player of the past 25 years, 15 years, not named Messi or Ronaldo. That's how big of a deal this guy is. And coming back to Barcelona, the stories we can tell, the jerseys that will get sold because of that will go crazy. And it'll make the team overall more appealing to sponsors and things like that in a time where, yes, we're signing a lot of contracts like the Nike deal that is bringing in a lot of money, but this could bring in even more. And this will easily sell tickets to the new Camp Nou, which is, going to be open hopefully for next season, allegedly done by the end of the season. I doubt it. But that means we need to fill those, 90, 100,000 seat. We need to fill that massive stadium. And to do that, Neymar would definitely help. Now, I think that is the right stance to take. You can be against it, but I think financially, from someone who has a business degree, does financial analysis on my other YouTube channel of other sports companies, I think this would be a positive move, even if Neymar is on a decent contract. But the sporting one is a different conversation that I'm willing to have here. Now, I think to understand this, we got to understand Neymar a little bit, and he is far from the player that we once had at Barcelona, but that doesn't mean he's a worse player. He's just a very different player. He's not a pure winger anymore. At PSG, he played very inside football most of the time as a number 10, right behind Kylian Mbappe, or floating around him, dropping deep to operate up. That's a lot of responsibility for him, but Hansi Flick plays in a 4-2-3-1, right? Or something like that, where he has a number 10. The problem with that is we just signed one for $60 million this summer, and he doesn't even play all the time because he's injury prone. And we have Fermin Lopez, Pablo Torre, Ferran Torres, even Rafinha, a bunch of guys who can play there. So it doesn't make sense to add stuff to that in a position that's already very full. Not necessarily, but we also don't have a left winger. And we're seeing talks about Deco being really interested in Luis Diaz. I don't love that move. I don't think it's ideal. I know Liverpool are going to highly value him. If he's going to come to Barcelona, it would be very expensive. And so I just don't see that as worth it. But a Neymar deal, who's going to be almost certainly significantly cheaper because we don't have to pay a transfer fee. And the fact that I don't think Luis Diaz is perfect. If we're going for a not perfect winger, I think Neymar is a better solution probably than at least Luis Diaz, but than a lot of other guys, because he could still play as a wide winger. He still knows how to do that, even if he isn't as pacey. And that could open up some options for Balde inverting more, because we know he likes to do that. But with Rafinha over there, he's playing so inside that there's no space for Balde really to move in. Neymar could definitely hug the touchline and put in good crosses. Now, is he going to beat his man with pace anymore? Probably not, but that doesn't mean he can't beat his man. Lamine isn't the fastest player on the right side, and he beats his men like crazy. So that's something to keep in mind, that he definitely still can fit as a left winger or rotate in centrally, or, move around, be a depth option at the very least. He would be an invaluable addition to the squad. It is a little bloated, though, in the ideal position for him, which is a little unfortunate from my point of view, because I think it would be so cool. It would, in theory, work. But again, it's like you got to pull some strings here. But for the jerseys and the fans that will come, it might be worth pulling those strings. And for me, at least, I'm begging this club to do it. It would be a dream signing for me. I started becoming a Barca fan like right at the end of his time at Barcelona. I didn't care about soccer or football at all until after that point. And so it would be huge for me. I know it would be huge for so many people just to see him back in Blaugrana with his boys again, training again in Europe against big competition leading up to the 2026 World Cup, which is something that we've heard a lot about, him wanting to be there, prepare for it. And at 33, he should be able to. Now, he's played a ton of football. Obviously, his legs are in bad shape. But if he can find some strength and put some health, consistency together, who knows what could happen. Now, I don't know if there is a similar player that was in a similar situation, right? One who was injured for a while throughout like their prime or the later prime, and then pulled it back together. I'm struggling to think of one now. Maybe you guys can do a bit better than I did, pulling that information out of yourselves. But if there is, please point it out to me, because I think if we can relate this move to another move that was successful, maybe Paulinho, but he wasn't as young, old, I don't think, and stuff like that. And also, I think it's important to talk about the way he would fit into the hierarchical build of the squad, because a lot of people are complaining that he would, mess up the flow of everything. And it would be, I think, a little bit weirder for us to think about, because Rafinha is on the left side. He's doing so well. And he's having a Ballon d'Or level year, stats-wise. Everything I'm seeing is so impressive from him. And I've seen comparisons between him and Leao right now. And honestly, right now, I'd rather have Rafinha in the side. So with him excelling and how expensive Leao is, it's making it more and more appealing for Rafa to stay. But it might be a weird dynamic to have him and Neymar in the same squad. Lamine, though, his idol is Neymar, so having him around, having that experience, having that understanding that he will have of other skillful players, it could be it could be very beneficial. And also, he could help as a mentor to Lamine and to all our young players about dealing with fame, because he was arguably the famous 17-year-old ever before Lamine Yamal. So yes, I think it could create some weird dynamics with Lewandowski there. He's the experienced old head. And then Neymar comes in and he's younger, but he's Neymar Jr. It's a different conversation than Lewandowski, especially in Barcelona. But Lewandowski's going to slow down, and Neymar, could offer a little bit of value at number 10, and maybe we change the tactics a little bit to fit him in, because he can put a great strike on the ball in the same way Lewandowski can. So it's an interesting move that creates a lot of options for Barcelona, creates some potential issues, but I think the pros of this idea, at least, greatly outweigh the cons or the potential drawbacks. But I could be wrong. So let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm completely off here with my ideas and my takes. But I really think this is appealing to me, and I really hope they figure this out somehow. This would be a dream move. But yeah, let me know what you think. Also, I want you guys to all follow me on Instagram. I don't really promote my social medias here, but I'm trying to reach out to brands and other creators and footballers because I'm going to Barcelona in a couple months, and I want to create as much sick content for you, but I need a little bit more clout, I guess, to be able to do it. So go ahead on over there, follow. Literally, if like 10% of you guys follow my account, it will greatly create up my influence, or the theory of my influence, and hopefully that'll help bring some brands or some sponsors and other creators around me that can help me make better content when I do go to Europe. So please go ahead on over there. The links will be right here. It's at Bobley Lou, same at as my YouTube, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace.